A 9-2 Northwest run has the Bearcats on top by 4, but number 1 Minnesota State with the basketball. 7 minutes to play here in the first half. 30-26, the Bearcat lead. Dreckman has it. Up top, it goes for Holmgren. Holmgren will give it off now to Schweim. Schweim near the left block, picks up her dribble, goes up with the right hand, off the back of the rim, no good. Zars comes down and pulls down the rebound, passes ahead to Stanley. Physical play inside. Good board there for Zars to end the Maverick possession. Here comes Kelderman. Bounce pass inside Moss. And they're going to say a kick ball underneath. That one must have caromed off the foot of a Minnesota State player right up to Moss. It looked like a decent pass, but the Bearcats will be inbounding underneath the hoop. 21 on the shot clock. Again, the Bearcats on a 9-2 run. Kaylee Keston 5 for her last 6 from the field. Lob in comes to Hartnett. Inside to Zars, posting up. Turnaround jumper off the back of the rim, no good. The ball tipped out. Long rebound, and it will be out of bounds off the Bearcats. Zars tried to get that one and throw it off of Schweim. Schweim, a nice job of boxing her out. Didn't give her a good lane. And it will go out off of Northwest. As Keston got a brief break, she's back in. Peyton Kelderman, Kelsey Fields also back into the game. Northwest out-rebounding Minnesota State in the ballgame so far, 13-7. The Bearcats with 7 turnovers, only 1 in the second quarter thus far. As Schweim on the left wing. Up top it goes for Steer. Steer drives in, falls to the ground. Shot no good. The ball tipped. Hartnett fighting for that rebound. And a whistle and a foul coming up on Schweim. They're going to say she had a push on Hartnett, fighting for that ball in the corner. And the Bearcats get it back. Now up to 2 team fouls apiece in this second quarter. And again, free throws kind of kept the Bearcats around early in that first quarter before some shots started to fall. 30-26 is our score as Keston comes across midcourt with a left-hand dribble. Down to the baseline. Gets into the paint, goes under the hoop, gets it out to Peyton Kelderman. Peyton into the paint, goes up with the right hand, shot no good, and the rebound comes down to Holmgren. Holmgren quickly ahead to Kent. Kent down to the baseline, cut off by Stanley. Gives it up into the paint for Steer. Steer trying to go in on Fields, gives a head fake. Now we'll go up with a turnaround jumper, and that one goes down. Tough shot over Fields' outstretched arms. Nice touch that time by Steer. She has 8. Bearcats break the pressure. Here comes Keston. They've got a 2-on-1. Keston fakes the pass. Left-hand layup. Off the glass. Goes down. Steer expected the pass and kind of took one step back. And CK with the nice lay-in. Her second 2-point bucket of the day. 3-pointer on the way. Schweim off the rim. No good. Fields pulls in the board. Northwest in front 32-28. As Fields to Keston. The ball tipped by Minnesota State out of bounds. We've got a good one so far, a 4-point Northwest lead. Bearcats, a tournament team from a year ago. They were in the Central Region, knocked out by Fort Hays State. Also in that Central Region, Minnesota State, who ran through the NSIC tournament, ran through the region, and then beat up on everybody in the Elite 8 as well. That was one heck of a team last year, and they are loaded once again. Lost Joey Batt, one of the best players in Minnesota State history, but they are loaded and ready to go again as Brooklyn Stanley, quick 3 on the other end, no good. Offensive board, Fields goes back up through a bump, off the glass, no good. Tips it, that one won't go down, but they'll say an offensive foul on that tip attempt. Little push from behind on Fields. That'll be personal foul number 2 on Kelsey. She checks out. Sadie Moss back into the game. Coach Tacey plays a lot of players for Minnesota State. They've had 12 on the floor already as Kent pulls up. Mid-range jumper, no good. The rebound comes down to Lindsey Kelderman. Kelderman quickly ahead to Stanley. Stanley to the right wing. Toward the corner, stops. Now back out to Kelderman. Lindsey, right side to Peyton Kelderman. Into the corner, Stanley. Stanley, one dribble. Pass deflected by Dreckman. Picked up by Peyton Kelderman. Into the corner, Stanley. Stanley. And a whistle, a foul coming up on Steer. Looked like that one could have been a jump ball, but they're going to say Steer reached in. And she picks up her first foul. As Bursch back into the game, as well as Zinano. 4:29 to play in the second quarter. It is a 4-point game in favor of Northwest. Inbound comes into Lindsey Kelderman, knocked free by Bursch, out of bounds, off of the Mavericks. 17 seconds on the shot clock. It's Stanley inbounding in front of the Minnesota State bench. Gets it into Peyton Kelderman. Kelderman guarded by Kent. Down to 14 on the shot clock, and a whistle and a foul on the floor on Kent. Peyton looking for somewhere to go. She is held by Kent. They whistle the foul that time on the junior. And now 14 fouls on the Mavericks. As Adeline Kent checks out, Mackenzie Schwein back in for Minnesota State. It's 32-28 Northwest. Inbound comes into Peyton Kelderman. Peyton, one dribble, now to Stanley. Stanley to the free throw line to Zars, now out left wing for Kelderman. Lindsey Kelderman goes right side. Stanley right back to Kelderman, guarded by Bursch. To the elbow, puts up the runner. It was deflected. It's going out of bounds and couldn't be saved by Moss. A good effort, but out of bounds, and the ball will go back to the Mavericks. And Northwest right now playing without a trio of veterans. Molly Hartnett, Kaylee Keston, Kelsey Fields all on the bench getting a breather. Northwest in front by 4 minutes to play in the half. Bursch to the baseline. Working on Stanley, goes under the hoop, reverse layup, somehow got the English to go. That one low off the backboard, it banks in for Bursch. She's got 6 points. That's Lindsey Kelderman ahead to Peyton Kelderman, middle of the floor. The Bearcats break the pressure. To Zars. Zars, left-hand dribble, gets to the paint, bounce pass underneath for Moss. It was a good look, couldn't quite rope it around the defender. Moss couldn't bring that one in, a little too wide, and the pass goes out of bounds and a turnover on the Cats. As Keston and Hartnett check back in, the Bearcats up by 2 with 3:33 to play in the opening half. Northwest at 2-1 on the season, the Mavericks at 1-0. Bursch brings it across midcourt, gets it left side for Schwein. Up top now to Steer. Steer to the elbow, pulls up, jumper on the way, no good, but a whistle and a foul on the floor coming up on Minnesota State. A moving screen on Zinano. And the Bearcats get it back. Northwest also going to the free throw line with any Maverick foul the rest of the way in this half. As a pass inside comes in to Keston. Keston kind of posting up on Schwein on the other end. Schwein leaning on her just a bit. And right as that pass comes in, a quick whistle. And Mackenzie Schwein picks up the foul. That will be her second. As Coach Teesey getting an explanation on the other end as to why that foul was called. But we will see Kaylee Keston go to the free throw line. And the first one from CK goes down. Keston with 20 last night for 4 quarters. She's got 17 through the first 17 minutes of this game. Second free throw hits the rim and it rolls down. Now 18 points for Kaylee Keston. Keston a year ago put up 12 points per game for the Bearcats, shot 36% from three-point range. Having a good game so far today, has the Bearcats in front by 4. As Lainey Leininger getting her first action, gives up to Bursch. Bursch has it knocked free by Kelderman, bounces off Stanley. Now a jump ball on the floor as Bursch and Stanley and Kelderman all going for it. Possession arrow will stay with the Mavericks. So far today, the Mavericks shooting 41% from the field, 25% from three-point range. They've suffered just one turnover as the ball nearly sent into play as one of the youngsters from under the hoop was still mopping up the floor. Official couldn't see that amongst the trees. A lot of size out there for both teams. But they stop things before they actually get play underway. Now an inbound pass comes in for Leininger. Leininger on the drive, goes in, left-hand layup, tough shot, won't go down, and the rebound comes down to Kelderman. She picks up her dribble quickly, gives ahead to Stanley up the right sideline. Stanley comes across midcourt, looking for some help, nearly lost it, she does lose it, and they're going to whistle a kick ball on Bursch as Bursch coming in to help out. Got a toe on that one, the ball nearly escaped Brooklyn Stanley. As Molly Hartnett set to inbound in front of the Minnesota State bench, lobs it in out near midcourt for Stanley. Takes off on the left-hand dribble into the corner for Keston. Keston going baseline, draws 2 defenders, and the ball knocked out of bounds on the baseline with 13 on the shot clock. .243 to play in the half. Still a 4-point Northwest lead. As Kelderman lobs it in out front. It goes to Hartnett. Molly with the left-hand dribble, stops, looking for some help. Guarded tightly by Steer, gives to Kelberman. 5 on the shot clock, and a whistle and a foul. It was Kelberman splitting 2 defenders, and they're going to whistle, I believe this is Steer, with the foul. And so we will see Lindsey Kelderman step back to the free throw line. As Steer checks out, back into the game comes Emily Dreckman, the junior out of Marcus, Iowa. Another Iowa native, though, at the free throw line. That is Lindsey Kelderman, a junior from Urbandale, Iowa. Played at Waukee High School. Makes her first free throw attempt this trip down the floor. Lindsey sitting at 5 points, now 2 of 3 at the free throw line. Also has 3 rebounds. And she makes them both. It's a 6-point Northwest Missouri State lead. Handling the ball, Leininger. She'll give it to Dreckman. Dreckman inside to Zinano, and Zinano finds a cutting Leininger. Check that was Holmgren on the cut. Holmgren comes up with the ball, and she is fouled on the way to the hoop. We'll see if this is on the floor or in the act of shooting, and they will say it is on the floor. So set to inbound will be Dreckman. As Czar's back in for Northwest, Stanley checks out. Dreckman gets it in left wing for Leininger. Leininger tried to drive baseline, and a whistle and an offensive foul coming up on Minnesota State. This one on Zinano. Away from the basketball, trying to free up a teammate. And she will check out of the game, and we will see Delaney Luneskis check back in. She got some action back in the first quarter. 2:22 to play in the half. Bearcat basketball in front by 6. Molly Hartnett gets to midcourt, picks it up, gives to Kelderman. Lindsey, guarded by Dreckman, to the free throw line, stops, looking for help. To Czars, right side Keston, catch and shoot 3. CK off the back of the rim, no good, and the rebound comes down to Luneskis. Still a 6-point Northwest lead. Bursch gets it ahead to Holmgren. Holmgren picks it up just inside the elbow with the left hand, off the backboard, no good, but a whistle and a foul coming up on the Bearcats. And this one on Czars. That'll be number 2 on Emory Czars. The freshman Ryan Holmgren steps to the free throw line. 4 of 6 at the line against Emporia State last night. High arcing free throw, hits the front of the rim, bounds off. Still a 6-point Northwest lead, as Minnesota State 5 of 8 as a team at the free throw line. One more coming for Holmgren. And she's able to knock that one down. First point of the day for the native of St. Peter, Minnesota. Bearcats break the pressure. Czars ahead to Keston. Keston down to the baseline, now spins out of it, brings it back up to the wing, gives to Czars, top of the key, left side Hartnett. Molly working on Bursch. Little bit of a bump. She falls to the ground. Bursch jumps over the top of her back, and Molly trying to grab a timeout. And a fan behind us jokingly says 2 points for a takedown. Can't blame him there because that was a lot of contact. Hartnett gets the timeout, a 30-second timeout with 1:41 to play in the half. We will take this break as well. Back in 30 seconds.